Here's a look at Jimmy G's injuries over the last 5 years. Obviously, this has been very well documented. Perhaps the silver lining on this graphic is the year you don't see an injury-free 2019 that resulted in a Niners Super Bowl berth in which they fell to the Chiefs. When he is healthy, Garoppolo has found success. So, is Jimmy Garoppolo's foot injury a cause for concern? Jason?
Yeah, it's definitely a cause for concern, and I'm not even going to go back into his injury history and look at the ACL or any injury of before. I look at this as an injury of concern just based off of this one. He was in San Francisco last year. He hurts his foot. And right away, there's speculation. Is it a Liz Frank surgery? Is this something that's going to have him down for a year? And it's just like it comes out, nope, not that serious, doesn't require surgery. Hey, who knows if San Francisco is able to make it to the Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo could possibly be available. Obviously, they don't win that game. It doesn't happen. Free agency comes, he signs with the Raiders. And it's not till after he signs that he has a surgery in March. And whenever you have surgery, there's always a little bit of an unknown, how you're going to react to it, what the recovery process is going to be. So I think there's concern because right now, if you're the Raiders, you've signed Jimmy Garoppolo to be your quarterback right now. You're not signing this guy for this long-term, built-out future. You're signing him because you want him to make an impact right away in your organization. They signed Hoyer to come in, and what we talked about Rodgers, to be a coach on the field and go out there and play. They signed Hoyer to come over here and be a coach in the locker room, on the field out there as the backup quarterback, not to come in here and start for Jimmy Garoppolo. So I think for the Raiders, yes, there's concern because we watched Jimmy last year. He's standing on the sideline after he comes in, after it was a Trey Lance experience, and he comes in and he balls. And this was the image we saw of Jimmy as the 49ers are going on their run with Brock Purdy and they're winning in the playoffs. He's on the sideline, so you have to be very concerned. The start of training camp, his big impact, we saw the comments Davante Adams had about Derek Carr not being there and getting a new quarterback. You want that relationship to grow and for him to be out there and to be executing. So I think there is a certain level of concern just because what is this injury and what is it going to be?
And it's like you said Brian Hoyer didn't come in to play. He track record says he better get ready to roll because unfortunately it's looking like Jimmy G's body is just breaking down. You talking about ACL, you talking about shoulder surgery, thumb surgery, year after year after year. It seems like something unfortunately has happened with Jimmy Garoppolo. And at his age and at this time right now, it's OTA time. You want to be out there developing relationships with the guys, going through the offense. You have McDaniels who brought you here so you can make sure that Davante Adams is having a phenomenal season. You've seen his frustrations, like my guy Derek Carr gone, and now my starting quarterback is here, but he's not even healthy, and we can't just get our chemistry going until potentially mid-training camp. And so you do look at Jimmy G, his track record has said, it's hard for me to finish games. It's hard for me to sustain 17 games healthy. And so I do believe that, unfortunately, Hoyer may have to potentially be ready, but Jimmy G, man, this is starting to look ugly for him.
Before he's even taken a practice snap with the team, they'll downplay this.
Yeah.
They'll downplay this. They'll say, oh, we know, like, who cares about, man, the team? They'll downplay this. I'm concerned because, like everything you said, there's a history of injuries. And this was 4 months ago, this injury. And now there's a surgery from March that we didn't know about until yesterday. And suddenly it's, all right. And again, they'll downplay it, say, what are you worried about? It's May 24th. What do we care? Oh, no. They signed him to a huge contract. They got rid of Derek Carr. They put all their eggs in there. And like, if you're thinking that they had a security blanket, I don't think Brian Hoyer is expected to play. I don't think they brought Brian Hoyer in here to, hey, win us a couple games. Brian Hoyer is the backup? Like, this isn't like having a Mariota or you name it, Jameis behind him or an Andy Dalton.
Brissett.
Or Jacoby Brissett. Brian Hoyer's not supposed to play football this year. Okay, so they drafted Aiden O'Connell in the 4th round. You're like, all right, well, they got a rookie quarterback. Well, he's going to get a lot of reps. Like, this guy's going to play this week. This guy's going to get a lot of reps in training camp. Yeah, it's concerning. The Raiders are not some rebuilding team. The Raiders went all in on Jimmy G. They still have, veteran guys. Chandler Jones is still on the Raiders. Like, there are veteran guys making a lot of money. And for Jimmy G to still not be healthy enough to play and to get another surgery after signing that deal, call me stupid. You might, Raiders fans, I'm getting overreacting. Is that a reason for concern? Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I would like to see Jimmy G taking snaps with his new teammates. I'm sorry.
And the Raiders knew this when they signed him. Did they not do their due diligence in doing their homework? How is his health? Will he need surgery? How serious is this injury? Because no team, I don't believe, will bring a guy in knowing that he has to be out until mid-training camp. This is your starting quarterback. You want to give yourself a chance during the season to say, hey, we're facing Patrick Mahomes. Hey, we got Russell Wilson. We got Herbert. We need our starting quarterback to be healthy and ready to roll, and he's not able to build those relationships in OTAs. That's the most frustrating part about this. And so we got to see if he can develop that chemistry in training camp, because right now you need that time. You need that momentum to build to go into a phenomenal
You were there.
season.
How many years were you there?
10.
No, in Vegas.
I see. I was 10. Oh, 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Carr pretty well liked in the building. Carr, I mean,
Love Derek Carr. He would hang out with you in the cafeteria, work out with him. I could approach him, hey, DC, this is what I see with our team. Let's take it this direction. Phenomenal dude. Dudes gravitated towards Derek Carr.
How far did you guys go that year?
Went to the playoffs.
And
we lost in the first round.
so that's why Jimmy G's there. As great as Derek Carr was, the Raiders felt like they had to move on from him to try to get over that hump. And I'm not blaming Derek Carr by any stretch.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is a phenomenal quarterback, great person. But I think for the Raiders, and I think they maybe felt a little bit more comfortable about possibly Jimmy G having some time away to rehab because him and McDaniel's relationship, he knows the offense. They may feel as though that gives him a little bit of an advantage where, all right, we know he has to miss time, but it's not like he has to catch up on the playbook. And then also for the Raiders, what were the alternatives? They had moved on from Derek Carr last season, so now you go into free agency, you have to get a quarterback. So you sign Jimmy, he comes up for the physical, and you're like, whoa, there's still something wrong with the foot. We may have to tweak the contract language a little bit, but we can't move on from him, because if we move on from him, then which direction do we go?
I want to spin this a totally different way. I can't. I mean, I would love for Jimmy Garoppolo to come out and say, you know what, I've heard everything everyone said about me about the injury thing, and it's factually correct in the sense that, I mean, statistically, we can look at how many games he's missed. I would love for him to come out and play every single game and say, this is behind me, this was really bad luck, this is, you know, I'm not this person, and I'm above and beyond it. But until we see it, and there's just no other way to spin it. And here's the other thing, is if he comes out this season, let's say he misses a handful of games, I mean, the knock on the Raiders and the decision is going to be like, you guys knew this. This wasn't a surprise. This wasn't just I mean, so the Raiders knew that stigma was looming. I mean, that's not surprising. But here's what really concerned me about Tom Pelissero's report. If you're waiting for something in the mail, or at least this is how I would operate. Like, let's say you're waiting for your passport. Let's say you just bought a gift for someone that you need to take somewhere. I want, if I need to be somewhere to have, if I'm going out of the country, I need my passport to come. I want a real big cushion on when that passport's coming. Like, it can't come like a couple of days before the trip leaves. Like, I'm going to do things, I want a huge cushion. When I heard Tom Pelissero say that, well, now it's a possibility he won't be there till training camp opens, that cushion is not good enough for me. Like, I want to hear that he's okay next week, because now if you're telling me, well, it might not be here till the start of training camp, what I'm hearing as someone who wants that kind of cushion is, well, wait a minute. Well, now it could be a week into training camp or 2 weeks into training camp. I need a bigger cushion than that. Like, I had to think, okay, well, the Raiders probably knew about this, so maybe it's not serious. But when Pelissero said that, I was like, that is not a big enough cushion for me if I'm a Raiders fan to feel comfortable with.
And we can't forget about the mental side. You know, we talk about the physical side, going through injuries, just the mental, like, man, I'm hurt again. Man, I got to get another surgery. Man, I got to go into OTAs, not being out there with my guys. That takes a toll on guys. And for Jimmy G, this is surgery number 5, surgery number 6, and he doesn't have a full offseason to just prepare as a quarterback. He has to prepare to rehab. He has to get healthy and then get his mechanics right, then get his body right, then gel with his teammates. So we can't forget the physical side, but the mental side, that's what's really most important.
If you're Devontae Adams, how are you feeling hearing that he might not be ready to go for this practice, obviously not until the middle of training camp?
I know he's annoyed. He's trying to brush it off. I know you're annoyed because you came here, you want your guy, you want your quarterback. Hey, I'm the featured player. I need to know, how are you going to throw this fade ball? How this back shoulders fade is going to work. Let's just work on this playbook together as a unit. So I know he's annoyed. He's trying to downplay it. No one's about to go play Monopoly. Yes, I saw what you said. No one's about to go play Monopoly. We're going to be focusing on this and see how this thing is going to work over there in Vegas.
I tell you what, B. Hoyer's in there at quarterback. If Devontae wants a guy to throw it up to him and give him a chance, I guarantee you Hoyer will do that. I was with Hoyer in New England.
What does that mean?
He's not afraid to throw the ball down the field.
Gunslinger.
We watched Stidham come in last year knowing this offense. The one thing Stidham did when he got in there, he threw the ball to Devontae Adams. I'm telling you, Hoyer's going to go in there. The one thing he's going to do is he's going to throw the ball to Devontae Adams. I'm not saying Hoyer's the answer for the Raiders at the quarterback, but when you say why they brought him in, they brought him in because Hoyer understands that offense through and through.
Well, it's not just McDaniels, right? Mick Lombardi's the offensive coordinator.
He was with Mick.
He's from New England, where he was with Hoyer and Garoppolo for years. Their entire coaching staff is littered with New England people, and then, of course, on the defensive side of the ball, there's so many former Patriots that are there that they can speak that language too.
No doubt about it. My question is, Derek Carr is now in New Orleans. Jimmy G is in Vegas. For McDaniels, for Dave Ziegler as the general manager, if Carr in New Orleans goes like this and Jimmy misses a few games, what does that mean for them as the franchise leaders, you know?